Tim, Pavlov. They call me Pavlov here. So, are we ready? Let's just get this stuff ready because I just wrote a few notes about how animals feel pain and going a bit into detail about it. Because I actually found out some new things when I researched into veganism, and you'll know very soon what I found out.
Content over everything.
Yeah, I'm really interested.
I mean, my opinion hasn't changed radically, but it has changed a little bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll get through there eventually. Like, you're so indoctrinated and brainwashed to believe your taste buds are more important than the life of a sentient creature, so...
Soon, brother, soon. Hold that anger for a little bit longer. Okay,
more,
hold those arguments for a little bit longer.
Just disgusting.
Okay, discuss, fair enough. Anger and disgust. But do you also want to talk about anti-natalism? On the other day you wanted to talk about it.
Could do, if you like, yeah.
Okay, but a bit later. So, is it on? Are we... Okay, we're on. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Now the moment of truth. We have vegans here. Come here, guys. Come here. We have flat earth theorist vegans, and we have a non-flat earth theorist vegan. And we are going to talk about veganism. So, would you like to elaborate on the, on veganism, on your beliefs and your ideology of veganism a little bit before we start, just so there are no misconceptions about it?
Yeah, sure. I regard veganism now as just basic manners. Animals are sentient creatures that have their own subjective view of reality. They can think, they can feel pain, they can suffer. They have just as much right to live out their lives as we have to live out ours. So because we can live perfectly healthy lives living off plants, it's a moral obligation to be vegan.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. So I did some research into veganism, and honestly I was a little bit surprised because I started having a less anti-vegan ideology, which is, it's good for you guys because I found out some things that were new for me. Yeah. But look, what I found out was that for some people veganism is actually healthier. For some people it can be healthier, but it depends on the person. Because not all people can take a vegan diet, and it has been proven on many different studies. And I researched a few specific studies, just so you know I'm not just lying. I'm not just pulling this out of nowhere. So there is the Medical University of Graz. It's in Austria, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's in Austria. They did kind of an experiment of asking people how they felt, checking them for diseases, and in 2014 they did it to vegetarians, not vegans. So even vegetarians already had differences to people who ate meat. There was already some differences. So they found out that as a normality, vegetarians would usually get ill a little bit more often. And they wouldn't have physical and mental disorders, as for say, nothing grave, but they would suffer.
They would suffer more milk.
No.
I mean, I know when I was vegetarian, for the couple months I was vegetarian, I consumed a lot of cheese and milk and those things. And that, for example, if you go and get kebabs,
yeah, that's a possibility, but I don't think that's a very common thing.
Milk is like really degenerative to the immune system. It builds mucus, and mucus is what helps to harbour disease.
Okay, guys, that's fair enough. But look, you can't assume that just because they are vegetarians that they can drink milk. They will drink more milk than, for example, meat eaters.
They might drink more milk than meat eaters. Yes, because
I don't think that's a fair assumption.
I'm going off my own personal experience. Yeah, so I was vegetarian for a short while.
So you know people who start drinking more milk.
I've known people who drink milk, yeah, and they have issues as well. Yeah, and I know I was pescatarian for a while, and I went to being vegetarian. And in that time when I went to being vegetarian, a lot of my things was based around cheese and milk, and it almost became like a kind of like a substitute for the meat. See, when you become vegan and you don't have animal milk anymore, your substitute for milk is plants. So each time you go down and you get more than that. That's just my own personal experience. I can't speak for everyone else, but that's just what I found. Just naturally, that was what was out there to get. You would go to if I go to a restaurant and I look on the menu and the menu is vegetarian, it will surely have like cheese or eggs or something like that, and those things are particularly really bad for the health.
You think cheese and eggs, they increase the amount of stress and amount of mental disorders and lower quality of life in people. They increase it.
Absolutely. If you look at the China study, which was done over 30 years,
depression,
and it's the biggest study, you found that people, if you're sick, you're going to be depressed. First of all, if your body is not well, you're not going to be able to handle certain issues and things and stresses that go on you for you mentally. If you live in a city, just living in the city alone, taking away what's actually going into your body, just your environment, being in a busy environment, not really communicating with people on a personal level because everyone's just going past too fast. You can become very isolated, and then you get more stress. So these are the things that just happen around us naturally, and then your body's not well. So depression becomes more so in places where we're not getting enough sunlight, and we're very busy and everything all the time, and especially in your body. Yeah, sunlight's a big thing because we live in cities where we live in houses. Not many people are getting out. Apart from us today, we did well. We came outside. We came to the park. Probably not many people actually get outside and ground themselves and are getting sunlight all the time. So things like this are also massive factors that go into things like, I know for myself as a sufferer of depression and anxiety in the past.
But we're not talking about sunlight. Sunlight is not directly linked to meat eating or veganism.
But what I'm saying is, you're talking about depression, and I'm saying they're already compounding factors that people are already experiencing, and when the body is not well, being able to handle those factors.
No, but that's not what the study says. The study says that vegans experience more depression.
Vegans don't experience
not
more
vegans,
depression.
Vegetarians. Now about the vegans, there's another study. There's another study from the University of Hildesheim. I think it's from Germany, but maybe it's from Austria too, like the last one. It was an Austrian study, which is more about the vegans, and it shows that vegans usually have more depressive tendencies. They usually feel more depressed, and the reason for that was, it was explained by them many times. The main reason for that is exactly what you guys seem to underestimate many times. It's your taste buds, because people need to. You can laugh. You can laugh. But listen, hear me out. Hear me out on this. Don't get mad.
I'm not.
Let me just express this. Because you don't feel the same amount of pleasure by eating non-vegetable things, by eating meat and eating different things, you keep yourself from many different tastes.
Do you know what?
A lot of different tastes that you cannot perceive.
Part of me really wants to let you keep speaking, but the other part of me just wants to give you a hug. You've never had a proper vegan meal. You've never had a delicious taste. You're in London, brother. You need to explore. Get out there. Do you know how many beautiful vegan restaurants there are in London?
I'm sorry to disappoint, but I'm a very voracious meat eater.
I know you are. But I also see that you're a man that likes to learn and likes to try and experience and learn about new things. And you cannot speak on the subject without trying it yourself. And trying a vegan meal in London is the most easiest place to do that in the entire world. There are amazing restaurants here, and you need to go out and try some of those recipes. And I'm telling you, you look at that study and you'll think, why did I bring that into my argument?
Okay, but
because honestly, vegan food is delicious. I cook.
This is only the
nutritional
stuff.
Yeah.
I cook.
Also, I would say, look where that study's coming from, who's funding that study.
You can look it up. I looked up the website of those universities. I did.
Like the amount of participants in the study and all the other variable factors and everything.
1,300 people participating. The first one.
And it's all just it's all the variable factors. But the most important study when it comes to health and nutrition is from the American Dietetic Association. So they're the largest body of experts in nutrition and diet. It's about 100,000 of them experts. So smarter than all of us here, standing here today. They have studied their life in nutrition and diet. And they have said a well-planned vegan diet is healthy for all stages of life: infancy, old age, pregnancy, and athletes. And that's categorically proven. All the animals that we eat, we are basically recycling the nutrients that they get from plants.
You're right to a certain extent. And again, we come to the thing that I learned about veganism, that some people take it better than others. Some people take veganism pretty well. They keep being healthy, but other people just don't take it too well.
Some people eat meat, and they eat a small portion of meat in their diet, and they never seemingly get that sick because they have a balanced diet, balanced-ish diet, yeah, right? They don't eat too much, yeah, but they're still getting sick, seemingly, I said, yeah. So it's the same thing with any kind of diet and lifestyle. You have to have variety, yeah. You do have to please your taste buds to some extent because you have to enjoy food. You have to love the food,
yeah,
and if you're not loving the food, if you're only
very depressed.
If you're only thinking about just diet and not enjoying yourself, but I'm telling you.
No, but the diet is a very important part of enjoying yourself.
From the experience of all my friends, this is my family, this is my husband, these are my friends, we're all vegan. You know what? We just stuffed our stomachs last night. We eat together every single day. We enjoy our dinners, and we are very happy. I suffered, brother. I suffered. My personal experience now, yeah? He said, let's do a study on me. I suffered badly, yeah, from depression, yeah, until I couldn't even come out of my bed, yeah. And you know what veganism's done for me? Veganism's given me purpose. Veganism's given me purpose in life, yeah. This thing that I've discovered that allowed me to have this loving connection between me and other sentient beings, yeah, that I had before, but I was never really using. Yeah, that has given me purpose in life.
Right.
To be able to help people, do you know how much people I've helped? I've helped people who've helped their family, children, whole generations that were suffering from obesity, now curing themselves. And
yeah, when people are obese, veganism does help.
But what I'm trying to say is families, yeah, that were going one way and generationally going to go down the line and line to be diseased in that family and die at early stages of life, yeah. I've helped people to help their family and to change their children. I've helped children, yeah, to help their parents, yeah. I've helped, yeah, actually, I know I've helped animals from suffering, yeah. I know I can feel my connection between them. I've discovered new ways of food. I've discovered new ways of eating. I've discovered new ways of embracing people. I've discovered so many things through this simple thing, which is caring about others. Simply just caring about others, yeah? That in itself cured my depression. Because not only did my body become healthier, my mind became healthier. Yeah, and I became someone better. I became the best version of myself. So when you tell me that vegans are more depressed, I cannot see how that's going to be possible. Because veganism is about connection.
One thing is for me to give my personal experiences, and another thing is to explain specific studies that were made.
Depression comes from isolation.
That's why I brought the studies.
When you're depressed, you isolate yourself.
It does.
But veganism is about connection. So how do those two things equal? How can that be?
You saying that veganism is connection is your personal opinion.
Veganism,
it's no fact.
Veganism is about connecting with other life forms.
It's your personal opinion.
Veganism, not my opinion. I'm telling you, you asked what the ideology of veganism is. Veganism is about connection to other sentient life forms.
Veganism is about not eating sentient life forms. That's what veganism is about. Not killing, not hurting, not exploiting. That's what veganism is about.
It
doesn't include what you're saying.
It does include what I'm saying.
The inclusion of what you're saying is your personal choice.
Veganism, yeah, I'm telling you, it's not my perception. Veganism is not my perception. Veganism is about connecting with other beings and realizing that their pain is important and that you should not put them in pain.
Why don't you look up the word veganism in Google or whatever? You can see the exact explanation of what it is.
Everyone around me
we're
is
moving
vegan.
a bit. We're moving a bit off.
We're having a war of semantics now. Let's change the conversation slide.
Because for you to understand that veganism is not a diet,
that is your opinion.
I'm telling you, veganism, there's plant-based eaters. That's plant-based eaters, and there are vegans.
Yes.
And veganism, is about being against exploitation.
Not exploiting animals, exactly.
Yeah?
That's what veganism is about.
And are you an animal?
Are you an animal?
Are you an animal?
I am an animal.
Yeah, okay. Well, not even you. Veganism is about not exploiting others. Veganism is about an end to slavery.
Right, fair enough.
And that is a connection with other people who cannot
You said
defend
your point
themselves.
of view, now let me answer to your point of view. There seems to be a common misconception in veganism that they do understand the animals very well. Now the animals are something different from what vegans and especially people in the cities see. I lived a lot of my life in a village. when I was in Ukraine, I lived in a village, and in the villages, we have a very different connection to the animals. They're not seen as this cute little thing that you come around and you pet. They're not seen as a piece of steak you find in the supermarket, because you see all the phases of their life: the birth, the nurturing, the death, the change into meat and into useful things.
Useful?
How we, yes. We use the bones, we
So
use the hides,
useful
we
before?
use every single part of the animal, usually.
So they wasn't
Almost
useful
every single
before?
part of the animal. Let me finish. Now, this is a very different interpretation of animals than people in the cities have, because people in the cities don't have that direct connection, don't have that experience of dealing with animals. In Ukraine, we have a saying that goes like this: if you let a pig eat under your table, he will climb up the table and he will chase you out of it.
I'm going to be back in 10 minutes. 10 minutes, I'm going to be back.
Okay, are you leaving the camera though? Is it?
I need the camera, man.
Bro, come on. This is just getting good now. Oh, come on, man. Come here, come here, come here. Come here. Come here,
You
bro.
ain't got the bus fare, boy.
What?
I can see that already.
What?
You ain't got the bus fare.
I ain't got the what? Come here and tell it, man. I can't hear you from there.
Do you speak English?
Yes.
Are you speaking it now?
Да, я говорю по-английски.
ها ما شاء الله تبارك الله عجيب يا اخي اقول لك لا تقدر
What?
انت لا I took him down, he drowned. I took him down and he drowned. All right, you ready for us? All right, come on. That's right. Let's do this. Content over everything. From your melody.
Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
You ready?
That project.
Yeah.
Black business for black youth.
So, niggas, so you can face the sun. So,
Who do I face, here or here or you?
well, he gonna tell. Where he going? Where the kid going?
Okay.
Where the young brother going?
He's gone. He's left.
Where's he
it.
going?
All right.
Yeah,
Let's
but
start.
we don't know who's working it. You working
It's on.
the camera? How you up?